Hello, everybody. Hi. Welcome to a live training session. I'm really excited to be here today to talk to you about e-commerce home pages. If you have an e-commerce store, your product-based business, your handmade seller, you sell on your own website, and you know your website could work better for you, meaning you know you can convert more of your traffic into sales. This is really where I would start because obviously it's your homepage and it's the first impression that we make. Now, I've announced to my list last week that I was going to go live for the next few weeks, and I asked you guys to vote on what you wanted me to talk about. We had ads, email, social media, website optimization, prep for Q4, and the website optimization was by far the winner. So thank you so much for giving me your insight, because honestly, that's not the one that I would have picked on my own. So I was really pleased to know that this is something you're interested in learning more about. And that's why today we're going to talk about the perfect homepage breakdown. So what I think would be great, first, if those of you who are live can give me a little hello in the comments, I would love that, just so I know that my microphone's not working, or I've done some tests obviously before going live, but it's always nice to know that you guys can hear me and see me. And then the other thing that I will say as well is, if you are on YouTube and Facebook page, I shouldn't have an issue seeing your comments. If you're seeing me from inside the Facebook group, I'd recommend you move to YouTube to be able to comment and for me to see the comments, because it can be a little tricky. Facebook is a bit weird with basically Facebook group and doesn't really allow me to see the comments in the software that I'm using right now. Hi, Viviana. Hey, Benjamin. Nice to see you guys. Thank you so much for saying hello as well. Okay, so we are good. Hey, Tina. Hi, everybody. So actually, before we begin, you don't have to do this now, but I will put on the screen. I'm going to be showing you, and actually, let me just quickly share my screen. And we're going to be sharing this. Sorry. So you guys should be able to see this wireframe here. And basically, you can access this and download it for yourself alongside all the explanation and the legend for what this is at the banner that I'm going to share with you now, which is this one here. So if you go to this URL, you can actually download the wireframe that we're going to use today. And on top of that, you'll get extra videos, extra examples to show you how to use those templates. And there is also a product page template inside of that kit, which I'm not going to go through in the live today, but definitely worth having a look at as well. Were you guys able to see the wireframe when I shared my screen there? Was the screen sharing working? Just want to make sure. Hopefully, yes, because I'm going to do it again so that we can get started. So what we'll do is I'll start with the template and kind of show you, okay, these are the things that you need on your homepage, and explain why they're important and where to put them. And then I want to go into real life. It's still going to be online, but I want to go into basically some actual examples so that you can see how other businesses implemented it. So we're going to look at 3 to 4 different home pages from various different niches, because I want you to see that, of course, every homepage is different. It would be such a boring world if every brand had the exact same homepage. But I want you to see that we are seeing and following all the components that are in this template. And I apologize, my voice is turning off a little bit. It is winter here, and I'm probably fighting some daycare germ that my son probably brought home. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again so that you guys can see. Okay. So here we go. So I want to start at the very top, which is what we call the announcement bar. You've probably seen those. They're not in your face. They're not something that, a lot of people won't actually really read what's on it, but a lot of people do, and they're very important to build trust and to boost conversion rate with basically a message that's going to explain how trustworthy is the brand, what kind of benefit we can get, like free shipping on orders over something, free shipping to whichever country. If you have a promotion going on at that time, I would change that over to explain what the promotion is: 20% on skincare, 20% on the whole store. So it's something that you can change throughout the year to kind of highlight the main sale message that you have at the moment, so people know there is an offer happening, or there is free shipping or a free shipping threshold or free shipping to a country. And if you don't have any of those, then I would use it for a lead magnet and saying something like 10% off first order. Or if you have a lead magnet that's more of an informational lead magnet, like a PDF, free guide for XYZ, and then they can click and go and download it. So it's a nice little bar at the top above your menu. And that's really where the page starts. Then we have obviously your navigation. Now, the navigation, you have to keep it simple, and you have to keep in mind what are the different paths that someone can take to get to my products, and what makes sense from the point of view of my customers, not just me as a business owner, as a maker, as someone who knows and understands the products and know where to click. If I'm completely new to this site, how am I going to easily find the products that I'm looking for? What I would really recommend here is that if you have some long navigation, as in you have a lot of categories, you have a lot of collections, and then you have subcategories and sub-collections, I really want you to avoid what we call those nested menus, which is where you have basically a drop down, and then as you hover over the names on the drop down, it opens another drop down, and it kind of gives you this kind of accordion feeling. It is not a good experience. It's something that we did for years, so it's still out there. But really, we're seeing now that this is really generally replaced by what we called a mega menu, which opens a nice big menu instead. And I will show you examples of that. So if you're like, Deb, what does that actually look like? We're going to look at some examples together, but really avoid those very long nested collections of, sub-menu into a sub-menu, because it is not a good experience. It is not going to be nice on mobile. It's not really nice on desktop either. And it's quite overwhelming from the point of view of the visitor of your website. Then we have what I call the 3-second section. I called it like that because basically in 3 seconds, honestly, I think I'm being very generous. It's basically as long as it takes to read the text that's there. And sometimes that's going to be just 2 seconds. It's your first impression, and it's what's going to make someone stick around and keep scrolling, or bounce off and be, you know what, that's not the store for me. That's not the website for me. Both these things are good. Now, obviously, we don't want too many people bouncing. If we have too many, then we know we have a traffic quality problem and we're not really sending the right traffic to our site. But we could also be sending the right traffic, the right customer, but we're not explaining really well and really clearly what the store is about, who it is for, and what we sell in this first 3 seconds above the fold. Before I scroll, this is what I'm going to see. We need to make it super clear with a main headline, and often we might need a sub-headline, basically a sentence that's going to support the main headline that explains what it is that you do, who you do it for, and what are the products that you sell. We do not want to be clever here. Clarity is always going to be better than cleverness in this case. And it can't be broad and it can't be vague. I don't want to see unique handmade jewelry, because that is so everything. And it could be jewelry for anybody. We're all unique. Every piece of jewelry is unique. So we need to be a lot more descriptive, not in like the sense of a lot of word, but we need to be much more clear about exactly the type of jewelry for what kind of person, etc., etc. I'm just using a jewelry example, but all these words that have, unique, special, they're actually not special and unique, and we need to use adjectives that characterize a little bit more our products and our customers. Does that make sense so far? Actually, let me see if I can see the comments. Amy, yes, there will be a replay. I will basically, as soon as this video is finished, it will be on YouTube. It's kind of recording on YouTube now, and we'll also be sharing it in the group and on my Facebook page. So if you need to go to bed, you can absolutely do that, Amy, and then come back tomorrow morning after a coffee with a fresh brain. That's not a problem at all. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Sarah. Okay, so I'll keep sharing my page, and then we'll keep going down on those sections. The next thing you'll see here, number 4, is social proof or as seen on. This is a place where you put logos of either magazines, or, it might be shops that you've sold in, it might be podcasts you've been on, it might be blogs that you've worked with, basically anything that is social proof in the way of partnership that you've had, PR that you've had, press, all of that good stuff. Now, I know some of you are going to be like, well, I don't have that. In that case, you're not going to have that section, and that's fine. But if you have that, then please don't forget it, because you'd be so surprised how many people I work with that don't have this section. And then when I question and I say, well, have your product been in some magazines or on some blogs, or have you been showcased somewhere? They're like, oh yeah, actually I've done this, or I've sold at this big market, or I've done that. And I'm like, okay, well, let's have this, because it's really helpful to build proof that your brand is known and you've worked with other people, and it's really a nice way to build trust in your brand and products. So that's what social proof as seen on is. And again, I'll show you some examples really shortly. Now, the next one's very important, and a lot of people forget this one, and I really don't want you to forget it. It is not easy to put together in the sense of you have to determine what you're going to say, but it's really easy in the sense of design, because you don't have to do much here. It's basically an icon and a little bit of text. And what those brand level values points are, they basically key selling points for your brand that we're visually communicating with just an icon and like 2-3 words. Like, it's not a full sentence. It's just some key things. It could be stuff like certified organic. If you're selling gemstone that have been sourced ethically sourced gemstone. If it's woman owned and that's important for you and for your customers, we can say this. If it's US based or made in, I don't know, New South Wales, Australia, and that's important to your customer as well, we can put that there. Basically anything that your customer is going to read really quickly, because again, it's just a little icon and just 2 or 3 words for each point. That's going to help them understand the main selling points of your brand. It might also be things like instant download if you're selling digital files and patterns and things like that. It could be free shipping worldwide if that's what you're offering, or free shipping to the UK, or whatever the case might be. But what do we want the customer to know really quickly about our brand before they even start the shopping experience, so that they kind of have that at the back of their mind as they keep scrolling and they keep shopping with us? Then we have what I call the category showcase or category path. This is where we basically say to people, hey, these are the main things that we sell. Now, if you only have 3 categories and they're earrings, bracelets, and necklaces, they're all going to fit, no problem. If you have a lot more, you might need to be making some decisions as to which one you actually want to highlight. And we're going to look at that from the perspective of like, what makes the most sense for someone to understand my brand? Which are the main categories? Which are the categories that actually lead to the most sales for us? Because that's definitely where we would want to take people. And so this is where we have thumbnails and buttons and titles that take us to a specific collection or a specific category. Again, I'm going to show you some examples, guys. So this is really theory for now, but it's going to make a lot more sense when we look at some different niches, different examples of how this is applied on other websites. Section 7 is where you go into your product showcase. So this is a little bit like the category, but instead of looking at it from the category perspective, which is a little bit broader, we're actually looking at products. So of course, we're going to have our bestsellers. So if we have 3 or 4 bestsellers, we actually want to have them there. Sometimes we just have one that we know is the product that everyone should look at first in our brand. It's the thing that we sell the most. It's the thing that gets us repeat customers. It's the star of the show. We could also just highlight this product here as just the one product that we want people to go to. But the question we want to answer here for ourselves is, okay, what are the main products that I want someone who is brand new to my world to know about and to check out first? Then we have reviews and social proof. That one's pretty straightforward. Testimonials, any reviews your customer left, we want to highlight that because it builds trust. It's like, I'm not the only one buying from this brand. Other people have bought from this brand. They love this brand. You guys know why reviews are important. I don't need, I think, to explain that too deeply. Something I will say here again is if you don't have any, you don't have any. And that's fine. You're going to get some really soon. And then as soon as you have them, just don't forget to go and add them onto your website. And in this case, onto your homepage. Another thing that I will say is if you don't have reviews or social proof, something that I think is really worth looking at is taking some UGC style videos of your products by yourself, your family, your friends. Like, you don't have to pay influencers. You don't have to hire anyone to do this for you. We're in this beautiful era on Instagram and social media where videos and reels are really unedited. They don't need a big production, budget. You can really just do it all with your phone. And it actually is what customers want to see. because we don't have filters, we don't have a big budget. It shows that what I'm seeing is what I'm getting, and this is a real authentic video. And so if I was selling, for example, lipstick, I would go and actually record a couple of UGC video of me opening the lipstick, showing it, putting it on my lips, because even if I'm not a customer, I'm still showcasing how the product is and works. And with this authentic style of video, it really helps in the customer being able to imagine themselves using the products. If I was selling a bag, I would do the same thing. My head doesn't even need to be in the video if I didn't want to, but I'd show the side, I'd show the, I'd just kind of turn around and do a little showcase of the bag, basically put some things in it and just start showing the products in use. So that could be a really good thing to have before you start having that from actual customers, or down the line, if you work with influencers or content creators, you might have that as well, but you can do these things yourself. The next thing we have is a bit of an intro about the brand. So I know we're pretty far down the page, and it's funny that it's not the first thing, but it's not because we want to introduce first the brand with the 3-section headline, then we want to introduce the product. And then for people who have scrolled till there and want to know more, we want to introduce ourselves. We want to introduce the people behind the business, the mission, what started it, in a way that relates to our customers. So it's not a full, a long story. It's usually just one image, typically of either the people behind the business or the founders or yourself. It could be a family if it's a family business. And then a short story, a short paragraph or a short story, like a very mini version of your about page, basically. And then we can take them to the full about page for those who really want to learn more. We have our email sign up next. Very important. I want this on every page, and you should also have a pop-up definitely on your website. I can't show you the pop-up on the layout here, but you need a pop-up and you need an embedded form at the end of your page that basically tells people what they get when they sign up to your newsletters, so that, I don't want to see subscribe to the studio news or subscribe to our emails. I want to see get 10% off your first order, download our crochet guides, something that is more valuable than just receiving emails, because no one really want to receive emails per se. They want to get something in exchange for giving you their email address. And then finally, we have our footer, and in there, we're going to basically have all of our legal links, all of the policies, refund, privacy, the terms, return policies, and then some short links as well that take back to the main categories. So quick links to shop. So the footer is not, the main character on the homepage, but it is important for all of these super crucial legal pages. And people know to go down there to look for things like FAQs, contact. If you stock in other stores, it could be a store finders, and then obviously all the return, refund policies and all that stuff as well, as I just said. Okay, so let me go back here and. Oh, hey, Brie, so nice to see you. My website looks so much better since I took your class. Your website looks amazing, Brie. I'm happy you're here. Hello. I can't really see you, but I'm, happy you're here. So that is the layout. Now I want to go and share some actual home pages. I have 4. We'll see how many we can do. But basically they are all different niches and they're big businesses. I wanted to show you not just, I want you to see that this is what successful businesses are using as well. And I want you to see how you can apply it slightly differently. Now, I don't want you to kind of like fully break out of the template, but you can move things around a little bit. And some of you are going to have more category showcases than others. So I want to kind of show you different ways it's being used so that you can see different applications. So let me just go back onto this. We always have this really weird effect for a second here. Kind of gives me a headache. Sorry, guys. So the first one we're going to look at here is cloth bums. Now, I have some pretty Australian examples to show you because I'm in Australia. So that's kind of like the brand I'm around. And when I go to Google and look for examples and things, that's also what Google is giving me. So enjoy. So this is cloth bums. So you'll see at the top, we have this announcement bar, free shipping within Australia and New Zealand over $200. So I have a clear, country limitation and I have a clear order threshold. I'm still communicating it up top. So you don't have to have free shipping worldwide or anything crazy like that. You just need to be clear on what, for example, the free shipping policy is. Then we have the menu. Now you'll notice it's super simple. Waterproof bedding, nappies, accessories, learn, sell. Like I'm not overcomplicating, but then you'll see we have a mega menu. So that's where instead of having what could be a drop down that then leads into another drop down, etc., like some kind of escalator or kind of like a staircase of menu. We have this beautiful, basically full width menu that opens up. It's called a mega menu. And then under that, I have some nice images that represents the subcategories, basically. So I have my fitted sheets, I have my waterproof bed mats, and I have my bundles. And under each, I've got bassinet sheets, co-sleeper, cotton crib, single and double. So it's really, really easy to see everything at a glance and then decide where I want to go. And I believe she does the same for the nappies, accessories. We have a quick learn section because this is for reusable nappies. So there's a lot of questions that parents are going to have about how to use them, how to wash them, how to feed them, how to pick the size. And so this is where she has all of these information pages. Then we have the 3-second section. Now, I will say here, and I don't know who owns this brand, and I'm sure they do really well, but I would make this better if I was them. Simply because it's kind of tucked in the corner on the left here. We don't really see it. It's kind of small. It's white text on semi-white background. I wish this was bigger and more centered so that it would be a little clearer and just basically easier to see because it would be easy to scroll past that. So I just wanted to note that. That's the only thing I would probably change on this homepage. Then we have here what are your brand key selling points. So you can see it's simple icons, very few words. And in this case, we've got waterproof and breathable, machine washable, 2-in-1 design, beautifully soft cotton jersey. So it gives me at a glance, like very quickly, some important things that I'm then going to have and keep in my mind as I keep scrolling. After that, she has a little welcome section. You can have that if you want. It's not necessary and a lot of brands don't use it, but she's decided to have that, which is fine. And then we have here the category showcase. So in her case, it looks pretty fancy, but every theme and every website kind of platform you have is going to have different options for this. And so as I go over, I can see all the different categories. So I've got cot sheets, I've got pram liners, etc., bed mats, pull-up nappies. So these are my category showcases. Then here, she's added more of those key selling points. So again, if you had more and you didn't want to have like 2 lines of, icons, basically, you can break that down into 2, which is done here. And this is kind of more about the product itself, where we're going onto it's recycled. Here's the materials that we're using, which are really good quality. We have a 12-month warranty. So again, building trust before I actually see the products and keep in mind, oh, that's right, they've got a warranty, that's beautiful, recycled jersey, etc. Then we have bundle and trial packs. So that's probably, this is basically the product features. So we're going straight into a product here. We're not going straight into a category like we were at the top. This is your product showcase. So this is the product that she's picked to showcase, which makes a lot of sense because I don't know someone who would buy just one nappy. You usually need a whole lot of those. Trust me, I use reusable nappies and one is not enough. You need more. So packs is probably what sells the most. We also have a sale here on those. So that's the product showcase. Then we get into the about section. So as you scroll, you'll see, hey there, a little about us. And then we have the actual text going here. Hey there, I'm Brit, a mom of 4 kids and the owner of this store. My goal is simple. So then she's explaining what the goal is so that I understand that's great. Her goal is to help me do the thing that I want to do in the way that I want to do it. And then that's it. Like, I don't need to know the whole story of why she started the brand and how it was hard with the 4 kids, but she ended up building her own nappies. I'm making stuff up, by the way. I don't know if that's the story, but I can see this on the about page. I don't need to see it here. So it's a very short section that helps me connect, because honestly, what happens to you as soon as you see this image? You feel trust, you feel connection. If you're a parent and you have kids, it's a warm feeling and it feels nice to see the people behind the brand, even if they're kids and they're not the one running the business. You can see this woman and you can see a story and you can relate in this case and feel a lot more connected to the brand. Then here we have as seen on. So this is what I would prefer to see much higher above, but she's decided to put it down here. So again, I'm showing you different options. Like tweak the templates if you want, just have all these sections on the templates, right? And this is all the places that she has been featured in. But also you'll notice some logo that are more like organic textile standard. I can't pronounce this, but OEKO tax, or basically the certification behind the material that she's using. So if you have any of those as well, or if you have certification for, basically the ingredients that you source or the materials that you use, you can also absolutely have that here. Shop our bestsellers. She has another product showcase section here. And then I think just some information, again, because it's a product that people need help using and choosing, she has some nice blogs here to help with that. Does that make sense, guys? Are you seeing how kind of all these sections are coming together in a different way? Hey, Muga, that's so nice to see you here as well. Agree with Brie, your class made a big difference there. Thanks, Muga. I'm so happy you guys are here. So let me know, guys, if you have any question as I'm going through those pages. If you have questions about like, how would that work for my business? Like, I sell this, what should I highlight or anything like that? I don't know that I could give you a really simple answer without doing a bigger deep dive, but I'd definitely try to give you some guidelines or some things to think about and some questions to answer to be able to make this decision for yourself. So make sure that you ask any question that you have. That's what those lives are for. And I'm going to go and share another example, which is, let's go with this big jewelry brand. I don't know if you guys I've seen this before. I feel like they're on my feed all the time and I don't even follow them. I have never bought from them, but I probably have clicked enough on their website for examples that they now think I should be retargeted with ads. So I see them all the time. Anyway, so announcement bar. They have done a bit of a double stack here, but the real announcement bar is I think what is in black. And because at the moment they have a flash sale, they've added another one here for that flash sale. So flash sale, but you get 2 free. We have a countdown timer for the end of the sale here. And then the actual kind of evergreen announcement bar that stays usually is free shipping worldwide, lifetime color warranty, 800 plus happy customers. So this is an interesting one because what they've done here with the announcement bar is not only saying this free shipping worldwide, which is quite a nice one, but also using it for the brand's selling points as well. So they've brought that trust and with social proof here for 800,000 plus customers. And something that's important because the whole thing is jewelry is waterproof, the lifetime color warranty. And then the 3-second section is great. So this is actually a really good example. We have first loved by, again, that gives you an idea of like how many people love the brand, trust the brand. I've probably come back to buy more from the brand. So you don't maybe have that many customers, but if you have a good amount of customers, it's really nice to display that. Don't be afraid of showing that your brand is loved and that people are buying from you. So even if you had, loved by 2,000 plus customers, that is still going to give me an understanding that you're not new to this. I can trust this business. I'm going to get the product. I'm probably going to love the product, etc. Then the tagline or like the headline is really good. Waterproof jewelry you will never have to take off. This is the whole angle, right? They sell jewelry. Jewelry is super competitive. I'm sure you could find really similar design. I'm just going to show you the type of design that they have in other brands. But the whole angle and the whole messaging that they're going for with their brand is that it's for going into the pool, going at the gym and showering. Like you can sleep in it, wear it in your shower, go to the gym, jump into a pool, go for a swim in the ocean. And this thing is not going to fall apart. It's not going to become green. It's not going to make your skin green, etc., etc. So that's a very nice way to say, this is what we do. This is why we do it. And that's why you're going to love it. Then we have our brand key selling points here. So again, repeating the waterproof jewelry, no fading, no tarnishing, gold plated, genuine pearls, free shipping worldwide, hassle-free returns. Here we have your as seen on. So Grazia, Cosmo, Forbes, Elle. And then we have product showcase. So you have your bestsellers here. new drops. So they have here a section for the new things. This is actually nice that I'm seeing that so that I can talk to you about it. You might be surprised that I didn't have it on my homepage. Typically, you would add that as a category showcase, which is what they're doing here. It's like shop the category new. And you can absolutely do that. I just would recommend that you do that when you already have quite a following and an audience and an email list. Doesn't need to be huge, but you have some following and some people coming back to your website to buy again. Because they need to see what's new, because they've probably already got the main things, or they have their product from your kind of signature collection already. And now they're excited. They clicked on an email that got them back to the website. They want to see what's new, what you've just been released. And so that's nice to have on the homepage. I don't want you, though, to prioritize this over the bestsellers or the very seasonal item that are always, a great success at whatever time of year you're in, because we want to make sure that we are highlighting our bestsellers and basically putting the best products forwards that we think work for the time and season we're in. But yeah, absolutely. If you are often releasing new products, you can do this. You could also hide the section when there isn't a new collection and have it on for a month, 6 weeks, and then kind of turn it off once the collection has kind of been launched and is now just available in the store. Then here we have their collection showcase. So bestsellers, bundles, necklace, rings. Then they've kind of mixed here, which I don't love, but why not? It's working for them, so why not? They've mixed product type and the colors. So we're seeing silver, we're seeing freshwater pearls, and then we're also seeing necklace, rings, and earrings. I believe what they're doing that for is that they know silver sells really well, they know freshwater pearl sells really well, or they want to try and push them more. And so that's why they've kind of brought it here. But it's a really easy breakdown. I can very clearly see what I'm going to get when I click on any of those. So your collection showcase. Here we have your reviews and testimonials. So obviously I'm not going to read those, but you know what these are. Bundles, and this is interesting. This is kind of the mini about. We don't have a picture of the founder, but we have kind of like a founder letter. I created this brand with one mission in mind, offering high quality waterproof jewelry that won't break the bank and make for everyday wear, shower, gym, anywhere in between, So this is your mini about section where we're kind of going behind what the brand is about, what we stand for, why it was created, and why it's perfect for you. And this is their email sign up, where we basically have a mystery discount. So I'm guessing if I click on that, I'm going to be asked my email. There you go. And then I'm hopping onto the email list. And a repeat again of those key selling points here. So don't be afraid to have them in multiple places as well, looking a bit different each time, because especially if there's such strong thing, don't be afraid to repeat yourself to get the message through. You can see they have it here, they have it there, they also had it there. Free shipping is again written here. Like, they're not afraid of repeating it because that is an important selling point for them. Okay, so that's a jewelry example for you guys. And now I'm going to go into, I'm just trying to pick the next one because I've got a bit of a list here. Let's do essential oils. Why not? That's fun. Whoops, I'm already scrolled all the way to the bottom. So let me go back. So again, an Australian brand, Perfect Potion. So this is aromatherapy, skincare, kind of also gift a little bit. Basically, aromatherapy, smell good skincare, and smell good home is kind of how I would describe the brand. So we have our pop-up, which is great. Look at that pop-up. And that's a good example actually of using not just a percentage discount on first order, but here we actually have a guide. So an informational lead magnet, free guide to chakras and aromatherapy. And then she said, plus you'll get 15% of your first purchase. So it's kind of like a combination here. So if you have anything like a free guide, it can be really good to try that as well and just see how many people take that up versus just a discount, for example. So just going to close that. We have your announcement bar. Again, free shipping Australia on all orders above $99. We have a menu that again is a mega menu. So when I'm opening, I'm seeing this big wide menu. I'm not seeing, a drop down for essential oils, remedies, scent, accessories, and then having to hover over them to open again. That's not really 2025, to be honest. And we've kind of left that behind. Mega menu is the way to go. And this is a really nice example of we actually have a lot to offer, but it doesn't feel overwhelming to navigate because I can clearly see, okay, essential oils, remedies, scent. I can decide whether I want to pick a scent or if I need something that's more like, okay, I want a remedies for sleep. Then, oh guys, I think my mouse just died. No. Oh my God. Okay, let me try and fix this. Wow, this is interesting. Of course something was going to happen. Nothing ever goes perfect on a live. Okay, so I'll keep chatting while my mouse hopefully gets 1% charged up. I can't believe this. Anyway, I should have checked that last night. So this is when I was telling you, when you think about your navigation, you have to think about how people want to shop. I might come to the shop and know what I love is mandarin or citrus, or I love lavender, and that's just what I want. So I don't want to have to go through the list of, essential oils and just kind of scroll to find lavender. I don't want to have to go through all the remedies and go, would it be in headaches? Would it be? I'm going to go to scent and I can actually see lavender and I can see citrus. And so I know I would kind of click directly on that. The reverse is true too, though. I might have no idea about essential oil and I'm kind of a first-time user. I'm kind of like, I don't really know. I'm excited about it, but I don't really know. Well, then essential oil kits is going to make a lot of sense for me. Or I'm going to go to remedies and go, why do I actually want to try essential oils? Is it because it's winter and I'm all like sniffly and my friends tell me it's really good? I'm going to go cough and colds, right? Or aches and pains or anything like that. So having this different path that people can take based on the experience with your product, the experience with the brand, and generally what they're looking for is really important, because you know that you have a lavender scent or citrus scent, and you know that it's under the single note essential oils, for example, but they don't. And we don't want them to have to kind of dig for it and try to figure out where it is. We want to make it as easily accessible as possible. Now, do we have a mouse? We do. How many percent do we have? 1%. Okay, great. I might need to recharge every now and then. Okay, so after that, we have your key selling points. So key selling points here, Australian made, solar powered. So again, very quick, but it's very impactful, those sections, and it really up-level the experience on the site as well. So visually, it's effective, but also psychologically and in terms of sale persuasion, it's effective because I'm like, okay, this is a great brand that aligns with my value. It's natural, it's organic, it's cruelty-free, recyclable packaging, sustainably sourced, solar-powered. I feel good about buying this from this brand if I'm someone who aligns with those values and thinks that those things are important. Next up, we have your bestsellers. So this is your product showcase. They go straight into the product showcase. And here, because they have two main things, which is the oils or the skincare, you actually kind of have the option of seeing the bestseller for skincare and the bestseller for aromatherapy. So you can kind of go between those two. Then we have Loved by Green Goddesses. So this is nice because you might identify as a green goddess or you might not. But the people who love this brand would identify as a green goddess. And so instead of saying loved by other customers, loved by something that they feel connected to. So if I was to sell kids clothes, toys, accessories, whatever, books, no matter what it is, I could say something like loved by other parents, loved by parents, because it speaks to me because I'm a parent and I'm shopping for my child. So you can say customers. It's not you can absolutely say customers, but if you have a word, something that people can identify with, I would definitely recommend using it in those instances because it builds a stronger connection with the brand as well. And then we have your reviews. Here we have your category showcase. So they've highlighted here, and I mean, it's winter here in Australia. So if you're reading that from the US right now and you're like, natural winter relief? It is winter here, guys. And so that makes complete sense to me. Even though for you, it's probably weird. So natural winter relief, shop cough and colds, and then almost decadent body moisturizer. Again, a very wintry choice because, well, dry skin in winter, right? Special offer. So we're again doing a product highlight, but this time going on bundles, kits, or anything that might be on sale. And then here it's a category showcase, but this time they're picking this one here. We had remedies. They probably know that this is what people like prefer to shop using this. Like they go shopping thinking, okay, I want to feel relaxed, I want to fix my skin. And so they have all these options here that I can scroll. If I want to sleep well, let's see the range. If I have headaches, let's see the range. If I have, etc., etc. I want to be happy and calm, let's see the range. I think I have this one, guys, actually. Really nice oil. Smells lovely. Then here we have your mini about section. Let me plug in my mouse while I talk about this one because I feel like it's about to die again. Again, I want you to think about what you feel when you see these people. You don't know them, but instantly they're nice, it's warm, it's positive, it's smiley, there's trust that's being built. People want to buy from people. And so I know a lot of you often will tell me, I don't want my face on my homepage, I don't want my face anywhere. But truly, people, and especially now that we have AI everywhere and that there are so many websites out there that are pretending to be things they're not and telling you they're based in whatever country when they're absolutely not. And, we need this connection to build trust as well in who we're seeing. And we don't need pictures that are like, well, it depends on your brand. It could be more of a corporate look. It could be more of a posed and kind of staged look. Absolutely. But that kind of like simple, genuine, authentic image really works because it feels genuine, it feels authentic. I can trust it, and I like those people already, and I like their dogs too. Their dogs, sorry. So really important to have that here. And again, the section's really short. We're not talking about their entire life story. It's just a short bit for the homepage that kind of helps us understand some key things that make us connect with the brand more. So here we can see they're qualified naturopath, acupuncturist, aromatherapist. So there's some kind of authority building in there as well, and expertise that's being built into it. And then what the goal is. So, help you community environment, flourish by listening to, guiding, reconnecting to the body, mind, and spirit, which again, their customer are going to feel like that's something that they want to do. And that's what they're looking to do with those products. Okay, then, sorry, connected. Okay, great. They have stores. This is a fairly big brand. They have stores in Australia. So they have a section here for that, which makes sense. Obviously, you wouldn't have that if you don't have stores. And then they have blogs as well for aromatherapy mostly, and a sanctuary. So they have the sanctuary here. So that is the other one. Let me come back on screen now. And plug in my mouse. Now, do you want me to show you guys a last example, or do you think that we're good and you've seen enough to kind of understand how to apply this to your own brand? I have another one I'm happy to show you. Otherwise, I'm also happy to let you guys go. I want to be mindful of time and really stay to under an hour. So I can do another one. I can also take some questions if you guys have some questions. Let me know kind of like how you want to do it. I'm also not really able to see the questions from Facebook. So I'm sorry about that, guys. Either way, I can use another one. Lisa in Canada. Hey, Lisa. Okay, let's do another one. And so now I've got to pick one. Okay, so I wonder, I'll do... Actually, let me share my screen. Boom, boom, boom. These are my notes, by the way, guys. Just taking you behind the scenes here. I can do Melvory, or we could do Koala as well. Maybe I'll do those two, but go a little bit quicker over them. Just checking that I'm sharing. Yeah, okay. So Melvory is another skincare brand. Again, an Australian one. I think. Yeah, no, it is Australian for sure. Anyway, love this brand. So they, again, announcement bar, mega menu, as you can see. I really like when the mega menu has this lovely little image at the top. If that is something that your theme has, I really recommend it because then it feels less text heavy below, but it's still basically an image that kind of just represents what we have below. So we still have here the mega menu. This 3-second section, I find maybe not clear enough, but I need to preface it by saying this is a big brand. So again, they have a lot of repeat customer because we're selling here a product that is going to run out. If you use it, you're going to need more BB cream. You're going to need more serum. You're going to need more baby bum balm, which they also sell. So all of these are things that you're going to need more of. And so their business is obviously built on getting new customers, but it's also built on repeat customers and people coming back and ordering again. And so there's a lot, I would assume, of people coming back to the store that are repeat visitors and customers. And so what they're doing here is, instead of reestablishing what the brand is about, like, we sell healthy skincare or whatever it could be, they're actually showing you what the latest releases are, so that as an existing customer, I'm aware of the new things that I might want to try. Does that make sense? So basically, if you're more kind of getting started and you're still kind of building up your customer base, I would still really recommend that first 3 seconds to be about a clear statement of what you sell that's kind of evergreen. You can change it maybe a couple of times a year when you have a big promo and you want this to be on your tagline instead. But generally, we want to keep it very, valid all the time and explain what I'm doing in a line or two. When you start building a lot more following and having a lot more repeat customer, it can be something to test, to have those kind of first, basically above the fold section, where we're actually showing what's new. Okay, let me unplug my mouth and scroll down. Okay, here we have basically, that's an interesting one. I can't click on that, which I find a bit disappointing. This is why I didn't pick that as a first example, guys, because I had a few thoughts when I visited the site. But I'm going through it with you, so it's interesting because I can share what those thoughts are. So here I was expecting to be able to click and then go to the product that would have this ingredient. That's not the case. So what they're actually doing here is this kind of key selling point for the brand, instead of really doing key selling points, they're kind of highlighting fresh and like organic and natural, in the way of literally showing us some of the ingredients that they use that look super fresh and healthy. So that, again, like psychologically, it's kind of triggering me to think this is super healthy. Like, if I can eat that, I can put it on my skin, yada, 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 right? Along with the statement, Australian natural skincare range, handmade with love, using organic super skin food. Then we have shop by range. So this is your category showcase. This is where, very simply, I'm like, do you want something for your face, your body, your kid, or would you like to see our bundles where you could have a little bit of everything? So category showcase here. The baby bum bam, guys, so good. Saved my baby's bum when he was tiny. And actually, this was gifted to me. Best gift I've ever had. It was absolutely amazing. Anyway, 100% natural, scientifically formulated. Experience the Melvory difference with our beautiful range of handmade natural skincare. This is kind of where we're going into what the statement is, and the key selling point being it's scientifically formulated and it's 100% natural. This is actually their bestseller showcase, because if you click on this, you're being taken to bestsellers. I've tried this last night because I got a bit confused by this session. If it was me, I would actually just have the bestsellers directly here, because it's not super clear that if I click on shop now, this is where I'm going to be taken. Under there, I've got my trust as seen on badges. So this isn't as seen on a magazine, but this is like certification. And that's really important, especially for brands that sell skincare or anything you put on your body, or that is for kids or anything like that. So Australian certified, toxic-free, cruelty-free, made safe, Australian certified, toxic-free again. So there's different accreditation and certifications that they've had that, as a customer, makes me feel reassured that I'm in good hands. I'm not going to burn my skin. I'm not going to burn my baby's bum, skin. And I'm kind of all good to go. Then we have their bestsellers actually here. So this is where I would have put that just in here, to be honest, but they do it in two different ways. Why not? And so this is the product showcase where we're actually going directly to the bestsellers. Here we have a lot of the as seen on, award-winning, every year for many years, right? Organic beauty, short-lived beauty, Australian mompreneur, sustainable product beauty business, business of the year, global brand, etc. So this is where we're starting to see like, okay, there are some serious people behind this brand, some serious customer following them, and they've been acclaimed in many different kind of awards. And so again, we're building trust here. This is your mini about section. And we have her, which I really love, because again, we connect with people, we want to buy from people, and it's just what we humans do. We need to connect with people. So that's really effective for that reason. And then what they're doing here is they're also using that as a way of social proof, where they're kind of introducing the brand, but also saying, look, we've got 100,000 plus customers, almost 5,000 5-star reviews. We're committed to what they're committed to. So it gives you a really short intro of what the brand is and why you should trust it. That's a product showcase. So that is either, I would say, something that they've just kind of released and they want to sell more of because it's new. And again, their visitors, being probably a lot of them already customers, want to see the new things, or it's an absolute bestseller that they want to really highlight there. But I would say it's probably a newer product. They have here something that you don't need to have, but you can definitely, if your business is any kind of, they say here heart-centered business. I know some of you guys definitely do that. Give a part of your profit to charity, plant a tree, all this kind of stuff. You can share this here as well. And then we have more as seen in, where they've actually been featured in. So you can see how all the sections are there, organized slightly differently here, but we have all these sections here. Fiona says, oh, Keith, I like the examples. Okay, cool. I'm glad you guys, I think it really helps. And also now that, sorry, I'm going to kill this effect we're having. And while I chat, just charge my mouse. So I like that you guys like to see those examples. I also really go and download, actually you need to unplug so I can do this. Worst design, you can't plug and use the mouse at the same time. And I keep saying mouth instead of mouse. So sorry about that too. This one, make sure you go and download the template that I've shared with you guys, because I want you to really have a look at it, have a look at all the descriptions that I have for each section. And then you'll see, as you start visiting websites, as you shop for yourself, you'll notice like, okay, these are these sections. I can see it now. And it becomes so much less overwhelming because you can just see, oh, it's kind of like a little formula where you kind of go, okay, I have all of these sections. This is the order Deb recommends. If I don't know what order to go in, I'm going to follow this wireframe or this template. But also, I've seen how other websites in different niches are going to present things slightly differently. And so that might be helpful to go and look at someone who's selling skincare, how they're presenting things. Maybe they're ordering things a little differently on the page, and kind of taking a look at some examples in your own niche as well. I know there is a question here about WordPress. So I actually don't know how those websites were built. I'm assuming it's Shopify. It could totally be WordPress. It could be any platform. I haven't picked those examples based on what the software is, but based on basically the reputation and the sales of the business, so that we're looking at some really, really successful businesses, and also different niches, and making sure the sections are all there. So Fiona, I don't have any specific example for WordPress, but it doesn't really matter. You should be able to do all of this on WordPress. You can actually, I know you can, and you can definitely do all of this on Shopify as well. Okay, now I'll do one last one, guys, and then I'll let you go. So we have, Koala. Yeah, let's do this one. So this is a big kind of, I'm going to take you someplace a bit different here, but again, an Australian brand. So this is Koala, although maybe they sell what, I've actually no idea. Maybe they are selling more than Australia. I feel like it is fairly Australian, but these guys started with, I think, one mattress and one bed base, and then now they're selling a whole bunch of sofas and starting to do more furniture, etc. So I know most of you guys probably not selling furniture. You might. It doesn't matter. I just want you to, again, observe what a really successful business is doing and how the sections are coming together on the page. So announcement bar, world-class warranty up to 10 years. Try it properly with our 120-night trial. So you can try the thing, and if you feel like you don't sleep well, sorry, after 3 months, you can send it back. And then I think we have a free delivery to Australia as well. So they have a few here, and they're kind of rotating them. My God, sorry, that winter throat is definitely coming at me. Then we have the menu. Again, either it's going straight to category. I don't have a sub menu because they're not going to have a million mattresses. They're probably going to have 10 max. So we can go straight to mattresses. Same for sofa beds. If I have more options, boom, I'm getting a mega menu again. And that's a really lovely way to have, instead of just a single drop down, I'm seeing the images, which really helps me understand visually what I'm clicking on and where I'm going to be taken to, right? So really nice. They could have done just, again, a simple, drop down, but this is going to be so much more effective. Bedroom, we have the same thing here. Living room, same thing here. Outdoor, same thing. And then they have a clearance page as well. Tagline, cozy as a sofa, dreamy as a bed. This is for sure their bestseller. This is like the sofa bed. It exists in different, like king, queen, double. It's super comfortable. It's super easy. Like, this is kind of what launched them. And they are selling so many of them. And so they've picked that as the main highlight here, and also as what kind of is at the front of their brand. Cozy as a sofa, dreamy as a bed. Go from sit to sleep in seconds with our award-winning sofa beds, and then going to the sofa beds. Then we have here the key selling points, the brand value points. Fast delivery, 3 months night trial, world-class warranty. So that, again, I'm like, okay, cool. I can get this quick. If I don't like it, I can send it back, and it's under warranty if there was any problem with it. Because these aren't cheap products, obviously, and also kind of a commitment to buy a mattress, right? Because then you're sleeping with it. So important things to kind of highlight. Here we have your category showcase. So mattress, sofa, bed bases, sofas. Well, sofa bed, sorry, and then sofas. Then we have your bestsellers. So that's your product showcase. Here I'm not going to a category. I'm being taken directly to the product, right? See the difference again? Here I would open a page going to the full category. Here I'm going just directly to that product. What they've done here, because they have such a big inventory, which again might not be the case for some of you, but could also be, if you have bestsellers under necklaces, bestsellers under rings, bestsellers under, like you have a few categories where you have a few products that do really well, you could do something like that, where we're basically going, okay, these are the bestsellers for the sofa, these are the sofa beds, sorry, these are the bestsellers for the mattresses, etc., etc. So each category is, they're kind of showing you what the most bought, most awarded, or whatever it is, so that they want you to check those first. That's the question we're basically answering when we build the site. It's like, what products do I want to highlight, so that if someone doesn't know my brand, these are the products I want them to check out first. Here we have your proof and as seen in, which literally says as seen in. JQ, Refinery, Urban Lease, Vogue, Bazaar, etc., etc. This is a actually most awarded mattress brand. So what they've done here, that's an interesting one. They've taken their main category of mattresses, and then they're showing you a product showcase. They're basically helping you shop mattresses really quickly. So if you're here for mattress, which they're known for sofas and mattresses. So if you're here for mattresses, they want you to go directly to the size that you want. So if I'm here for a single bed, I want to see the main products for it. If I'm here for a king, I want to also go straight to it. So it's kind of allowing you to go straight to this product, instead of having to go mattresses here at the top. And then I imagine that then I would have to scroll through a bunch of, product and figure out like, oh, actually they've done the same here, which is quite nice. Oh, that's a really nice way. So basically, if you haven't clicked here, they're doing the same thing on the homepage and helping you go straight to the product. What we want to do is kind of reduce how many clicks people have to click before they get to the product they want to buy. We have a quiz here. Quiz is really good, guys. If you can help your customers pick the product, this works really well with things like skincare, for example, or works really well with gemstones, jewelry as well, like which one is a necklace for you, which is your perfect stone, what skincare routine should you have, and having a quiz that helps people decide what's good to buy, but also helps them jump onto your email list. They have a new arrivals, and then we have your social proof here. I love that the social proof has images, because obviously it is going to have more of an impact, because I can actually see the things in people's room, which helps me understand how it looks better. and also shows me that, hey, these are real people that have bought this product. So if you have an option for people to upload pictures for your reviews, which you should, try and encourage it, because it really does help to see a visual of, okay, this is this person wearing these rings, this is this person, it really helps. It's not going to work as best as this for every niche. Like, if you sell underwear, like, people are not going to send you pictures of them in underwear, I don't think, although they might. But, obviously be careful with what you share, and you have to make sure that you are allowed to share the photo of the living room. But it's really effective because it's this UGC style where it's user generated. It's not a big production. It's not edited. It's not filtered. It's really real. I'm seeing wrinkle on this blanket. It looks like my bed. And so my bed looks worse than that, to be honest. At least this bed is made. But anyway, so it's trustworthy for that reason. And then here we have the kind of brand selling point, which is like, okay, what's good about our brand? Why should you trust us and have this one of buying from us further than you already do, which is 1% for the planet, B Corp, Aussie Icon, which is that they help protect the koala with WWF. So again, kind of showing that they are not just a big brand, they also care for the planet, yada, yada, yada. So protecting koala, preserving tomorrow, together with WWF Australia. And then we have your key value points here: design with the world in mind, effortless experiences, everyday value, thoughtful design. Email sign up, which is the worst. Please never say subscribe to our emails. You can probably afford to do it when you're a brand that's so big as them that all of their email subscribers are probably coming first as a customer, because they obviously have ads and they run big budgets. And so people buy and end up on their list. But if you want to build your list as a way to also get people to buy later, subscribe to our emails is not going to be the best way to get them. I would definitely say something more like get 10% off, enter the quiz, get the free guide, whatever the lead magnet you have is. Okay, guys, I'm going to remove this effect thing here. I'm just going to plug in this. All right, guys, awesome. Right on the 1 hour mark. I'm proud. Alicia's probably laughing, going, well, you're just cutting it right there. But at least I didn't go for 2 hours. Okay, guys, I hope this is really helpful. Make sure you go to this URL and download the booster kit, the revenue booster kit. You'll get the homepage template that we just looked at, some extra videos, as well as a product page template. The other thing is, if you are thinking, I want help growing my e-commerce sales, so growing sales on your own website, there is also a link somewhere around this video. I will actually I can put it on the screen if my mouse is working, for our Launchpad program, where over a year, I just realized this is open, over a year together, we help you basically, if you already have a website, we're going to help you optimize it so that you make more for more per order and more sales of the traffic that you already have. We then look at email marketing, not just automation like your welcome sequence, but the whole customer journey automation, helping you build all the flow that you need as an e-commerce brand, how to send emails that actually make sales between promotions, how to run promotions, how to grow your email list so that you really have a comprehensive email system that gets you sales. Again, not just like twice a year when you send a promotion, but basically every time you send an email. Then we look at social media and paid ads, meaning on Meta, but that's what we focus on. So Instagram ads and Facebook ads. And we have, all the trainings, myself in the community every day. We have other coaches for ads, for web design, for email marketing that are also there on the team to support you. So if you need help, if you want guidance in how to grow your sales on your own e-commerce store, then visit this URL right there. I'm glad I pointed here. Sometimes I point and it goes this way, but this one here, tizit.co/launchpad. You can get all the information. And also, if you have any question, you want more info about the program, you want to make sure it's a good fit for you, there is an application form here. And so very likely, I read all of these applications myself. Very likely I'll be in touch anyway, and we'll have an honest conversation as to whether that's a good fit to work together. But yeah, go and check it out here. And next week, we go live the same time, same place. And we are going to be chatting about Q4 prep, but the main things I want you to be doing right now, not in September, like July, August max. What are some things that I want you to be focusing on so that we can really be ready for Q4, which is going to be here like this, right? And from the point of view of like marketing and sales, I'm not going to talk about product collection and product release and all of that, but from the point of view, like how do we get more sales? How do we grow audience and all of that good stuff before Q4 actually arrives, which again it's coming fast from here. Basically, the second part of the year is just twice as quick as the first part of the year, I feel. So make sure that you come back next week. We're going to talk about that in another live. And if you want the reminders, go and download the Revenue Booster Kit, because then you'll be on my email list and you'll be getting the reminder. So that's the URL for the Booster Kit. It should also be linked in the caption below or above this video, so you can actually just kind of click on it. URL for the program again, tizadecco/launchpad. And thank you so much, everybody. And I will see you next week. Bye, bye, bye.